I'm doing this video because I'd like to talk about the Foreign Agent Act. I didn't quite understand what would be the purpose of having this Foreign Agent Act. But then as I read further into why it was created, uh, it still doesn't make sense. Why would we be enacting such a thing uh, if this is supposed to be America Republic? Then why are we enacting such a thing that has to do with foreigners? I would think that if someone comes to this country through immigration, I would think that they have laws that they have to follow regardless of what it is that they want to do when they come in this country. But I don't think that they should have the ability to have control over propaganda or the privilege of having contributions into politics. And I don't think that they should have any right whatsoever in the destruction of a community or a political subdivision at all, period. So maybe the Foreign Agent Act is really not good for us. Maybe it's not in the context in which it is. I don't think that it's good for us at all. And if we have foreigners influencing our politics, the other foreigners that like to be political asylum seekers, and they want to take money from donors from foreign principals to decide the outcome of the politics that are to make decisions referencing this country. I think that it should not be a part of the Foreign Agent Act, and it is here nullified. They have a thing called Nullification Act and Force Act, and that is something that we really need to consider when someone comes from another country and they want to make this country the way that they see fit. And I'm thinking to myself, if you have to leave the country that you come from and to come here, then apparently how you see fit was not a working solution in the country you came from. So how do you think we feel when we're actually here as the First Nations, the first original people, and we've set our laws that we want to facilitate, and then you decide to come and you want to do a separate set of laws, and you want to apply those separate set of laws not to yourself, but you want us, the people who are originally here, to adhere to that and follow that and even accept it. And it's like hell to the fucking no. We can't accept a foreign principle laws. And here's why. Because they're not for us. They're not in protection of us. And they're not there to assist us and to give us the things that we need as the original people on the ground. So it's no. It's nullification, the enforcement of nullification by the Force Act. And we cannot do that. And who does that anyway? How would you like us to come to your country and upend it and do whatever laws we want to do and be like a big fat fuck you? And we don't give a fuck what you think. We're just going to come over there and we're just going to turn up your country. Because that's what you're asking for. You're really asking to get it. And we're doing our very best to not give it to you. Because you're going to get it if you continue to uh, just be disrespectful. I mean, go home. Go home to your country. And do what you're doing here and see how you fare there. I mean, give us a damn break. It's bad enough that our country and these uh, European foreigners are here trying to police the world, use our natural resources to police the world, don't require other countries to pay up. You know, like, who works for free? And what you should be doing as a foreigner, if someone comes to your country and causes you any kind of irritation or vexation, you should sue them. But you sue who does that. You don't sue this country. You sue the person that does such a thing to you. And then you can't keep using our natural resources and receiving benefits and all kinds of things. And then you go to your country, and your country is just oozing in natural resources and oozing in benefits to you. But you're over here using up these things that are for the original people here and their descendants. You should be ashamed of yourself. You really should be ashamed of yourself. And you should go take your problems to Europe. Go take them to Europe. Go take them to the person that fights you or takes away from you. That's how you resolve things. You don't come here and you want everybody to be responsible for a decision that was made by a few. You can't do that. We can't take that, and we're not going to tolerate that. And I don't care what Obama does or does not do, but you'll be held accountable and liable for your activities that you are doing here that disturb us in our peace, the original people and their descendants. And you're disturbing us in our peace and our quiet, and we don't have anything to do with that state, that corporation, and they're essentially attempting to do the same thing to these original people and their descendants that they've essentially tried have done to you while you even in this country. And instead of you assisting us to try to combat all of this corruption and stuff, you just adding to it and being a part of it. So how you think we're supposed to look at you? And then you want to try to legislate in our country that what you think is good for you, and to hell with us as the original people? Well, you got another thing coming. You and anybody else that's complicit, involved in it, any of you all, you got another thing coming. Believe that. Because we're not going to stand for that. We have overstanding, and we're not standing for that. We're not going to be treated that way. We shouldn't be treated that way because we've never denied a refugee, we've never denied a political asylum seeker or amnesty seeker or someone seeking safe haven. But it's at an end now because we can no longer do this when it's just being abused and uh, taken advantage of and abuse of discretion, and you just do it so you can come here and get whatever you know that is not even due to you. And you should really be ashamed of yourself when you come someplace and you ain't never lift one finger and you feel that you should receive when you have original people and their descendants that have been here for generations and generations and generations and generations, and you really feel that you have that right. You think that you have that privilege. You think you should be able to come and have your celebrations and uh, buy all of the food that you like on food stamps and do all of these things that you haven't even contributed to whatsoever. And then you don't want us to charge it back to your country. Here's the thing, you know, if I buy a plane ticket and that plane doesn't take me where my ticket is saying that I'm supposed to go, uh, and the plane is not leaving the ground, and I can't no longer use the ticket for what is intended, then it has to uh, be charged back to that company, that corporation, and that has to be returned. You can't just, go and drain someone else's treasury and wealth and natural resources and keep your own. There has to be what they call checks and balances. So, you're asking for something, and then you also need to be returning at the same time. So, we're going to figure out how to charge you back each head, each one of you that comes through immigration, uh, and you are receiving any form of benefits in this country, it's going to be charged back to the country from which you come from, because we can't take care of the world and the world can't take care of us. Instead, you're making us into a big junk pile, and we can't do that. So be looking for that, because you can go and write up any kind of legislation that you want, but that's not going to mean a hell of a bean to the original people here and their descendants. We're not going to be concerned with what someone legislates, because we know that all of that's being done in fraud, in violation of the Foreign Agent Act anyway. And you're not here to destroy our communities and political subdivisions because you can. You're not supposed to do that. The Voorhees Act based on the Foreign Agent Act, specifically forbids you from doing that. So what the hell do you think you're actually doing when you're taking the food and the sustenance and the benefits that are supposed to go to the original and their descendants? So, I mean, what's the problem here? And I think you need to, we got to reassess the situation and reevaluate the mental capacity of someone who doesn't even seem to be concerned about the children in the country for which they are coming to take away from. So, I just wanted to say this to you because it's very important that you know that we're not having any of that. And you know what? Can't never find a lawyer to help us, but we'll figure it out because we're very intelligent people. We'll figure it out. We will figure it out, and God will help us to do that. So, you take care and you look deep inside yourself and ask, who exactly are you injuring and who exactly are you harming? Because it's not the people or the persons or the corporations that came to your country and caused you to move. You got the wrong number. When you start dealing with the original people and their descendants. Take care.